Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make this granny striped mini Easter basket. It's made up in all double crochets, that's US double crochets, and I used standard double knit DK yarn and my 4mm hook to do this. If you know how to do double crochets, and you'll find this really easy to do. It's nice, quick and simple and really nice to give out at Easter time. So we'll get started. Okay, so to start off this little basket, I do my magic ring, and you want to chain 2 on that, and we're going to do then 10 double crochets into your magic ring. Okay, so now that you have done your 10 double crochets, you just want to pull your little tail and close over your magic ring, and then slip stitch into this first chain here. If you're going to work in your tail, just keep it over the top, if not, let it lie loose. So we're going to work in double crochets again, so that's chain 2, and then do 2 into every loop all the way around. Alright, so now that we're at the end, we just want to slip stitch that closed again. And I am now going to cut this tail. Okay, so we're going to do double crochets again, so if we chain 2, and then go straight into that first one and just do 1, and then do 2 into the second loop, 2 doubles into the second, then go back to 1 again, and then 2. Now if you just work the whole way around until you meet back to the end, working in that 1 and then 2 double crochets. So same thing again, once we do this last double, we just want to slip stitch it closed. And again, we're going to work around with doubles. So we'll do our chains, and then we'll do 1 double in the first loop, 1 double in the second loop, and then 2 doubles in the third. So again, if you just work that all the way around as 1, 1, and then 2. Okay, so now that we're on this last one, we'll just do this last double crochet and then slip stitch that closed. So what we want to do now is chain 2 and then do our double crochets into the back loop only of this row, and work just 1 double crochet in all the way around. So if you just want to go ahead and do those, and we'll get back when you're finished. Okay, so we'll just do this last double crochet here. So now to do the granny stripe all the way around, what we're going to do is we're going to work into 1 and then skip 2 all the way around. So in order to do this, we would start off by doing our chain 2, and that counts as the first of our 3, and then we'd work another 2 of these double crochets into this first loop, and that is our first cluster in our granny stripe. And then going to yarn over, and I will double crochet, skipping the next 2, just double crochet into the third loop from our current work, and you're going to do 3 double crochets into there, and the same again, yarn over. Then once you've done your 3, yarn over, skip 2 and into the next, and just keep doing 3 in every third loop all the way around. Okay, so once you've done your last cluster, you'll notice that you have there 3 loops left. What you do is you yarn over and you do a double crochet into the last loop closest to your first cluster, and then slip stitch that close. So that then hides that join in with that cluster. You're then going to to chain 2, and then do all 3 of your double crochets into the hole from the first round, and you just work all the way around doing 3 double crochets into each of these little gaps. Okay, so once you get to this last cluster and do your last 3, you just do the same again. You go into the top chain from your initial chain at the start of the round and slip stitch it, and then this gap becomes where your first set of your first cluster of your next set of granny stitches goes, and you just continue to work up until you have the height of basket that you choose. So I'm going to do further 6 rows, and then I'll work on the handles. So if you choose to have yours the same height as mine, then go ahead and do another 6 rows, and we'll meet back once we've got that high, and I'll show you how I do my little handles. Okay, now that you have worked all the way up and done the 8 granny stripes, we'll do a little layer around the top of double crochets. This just makes it nice and easy to add the handle onto. So that was your chain 2 as always, and then yarn over, and this time put 1 into your gap, and then do 2 in the stitches of the clusters, and then back as to 1 in the gap again. That just maintains you being able to see your gaps in your top row. So you just do this the whole way around, and then we will get on to putting the handles on. Okay, our final slip stitch. Now we're going to add on the handles. So there should be 40 stitches along the top here. So if you need to count to double check, that's fine. But what we're going to do is we'll do our chain 2 and then 1 double crochet, just as a nice wee starting point there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to skip 5, but we are going to chain 7. Then we're going to now yarn over after our chain and skip this 5, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and work into the 6th with this double crochet. Don't worry if this chain twists a little bit, because you're not going to be working into the loops, you're going to be working into the gap. And then you can continue on and do 15 double crochets. Okay. So then you can just fold it in half and double check if it's even. You should have one, if you fold it in half from the edge that you started, you should have one double crochet on the other side that makes up for the one that was here. You then do your chain 7 again. Skip 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go into the 6, do your double crochet, and then do your double crochets to the end now. And do our slip stitch. So at this point you're going to do your chain and do your 1 double crochet into this stitch here that gets you to your handle, and then you're going to do 10 double crochets into the handle. Okay, so then you can do this 1 double crochet into the next loop, and at that point you'll be able to then move these double crochets about to make that handle look nice and neat and it joined to the edges on either side, as so. Then just work your double crochets into each stitch all the way around until your next handle. And it's the same again, just work 10 double crochets into doing the same thing again where you do that last double crochet and then just moving those around until you're happy with where they're sat. Continue on your double crochets until you get to the end of this row and then slip stitch them closed as always. Okay, so our last double crochet and then slip stitch into the top of that chain. So at this point you would then just cut your yarn free. I would yarn over and pull it through, and then you can just use a downy needle to pop that in through the top there and work it down, and there you have your little granny striped Easter basket. You can make that as tall or as short as you want it to be. You could even choose to make your handles a little bit bigger by chaining more when you are working that round to make the length of your handle. So you have it. I hope that you thought that that was nice and easy. If you thought that this tutorial was useful, then please give it a little thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see some more tutorials. Thanks guys.